Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video will be some active stretching for those muscles and those joints, so let's get into it. I'm going to be on one single blue. I'm starting in this Z-sit position, so get comfortable onto your carriage. My shin is against my shoulder block. If this doesn't feel good for your hips, you can always come to this crisscross position or even bring a leg down in front of you. So, we're gonna get into our mermaid stretch. Nice classical mermaid stretch. So palm comes up and other palm comes onto your foot bar. We're gonna feel like you're pushing that hip away from you. So already trying to find a stretch in that hip flexor. Deep inhale. We're gonna press out onto that carriage and reach long through the arm. Stretching out that spine. Slowly restack. Just starting to warm up the body here. You might even shake a little bit in these stretches, and that's just active stretching for those muscles. Try to enjoy it and breathe deeply, sending oxygen through them. I want you to start to feel what that bottom shoulder is doing. So is it crunching up into your ear? I tend to have really bossy shoulders, so it wants to all the time. Feel a drop by pressing the shoulder away. Even if it's a small movement, little is better than nothing. And again, reach long, press away. Drop that shoulder. Whew. See, I'm shaking because the muscle doesn't want to allow me to do that. But I have to actively and intentionally feel that drop of the shoulder. Here for 4. Sometimes I close my eyes into it so I can really feel. 3. 2. Oh, feels really good. And 1. Stay in that lateral flexion. Just drop the chest towards the floor. Both hands are on that foot bar now. Go wider. I'm in this twisted child's pose position. Dropping that chest and pulling the shoulders back. So I'm getting a deep lat stretch, opening up that chest. Few deep breaths here. Straight arms. Start to shine that chest, reach up for that swan. Staying in that twisted child's pose. Press back out. Swan up. Shine that chest. Push to the palms. And again, press back out. Back up. Let's get 2 more, nice and slow at your own pace. You can pause into it as long as you would like. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Good. And 1 more. Working out all the kinks in our body from all that working out that we do on our reformer. Bring it in. Unwind. Little rollout. We'll take an opposing stretch here before we go to the other side. You can open up that chest if you would like. Little rotations. Bringing it back in. Okay, I'm gonna come now facing my foot bar, small little rotation. My heels are back, my glutes are sitting back down onto my heels, and my knees are opened up. So I'm opening up those hips a bit. Palms come back down onto your foot bar pretty wide. And then we're gonna press back out for that child's pose. Really pause. I just felt a release in my shoulder. Felt really good. You can scoot up a little bit more towards the edge if you need more range. Back out. Stretch. Really push away. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And back in. Shine that chest. We're going to press all the way out on this next one. Right hand will stay on that foot bar. Left hand is going to thread underneath the chest. So I'm getting in a deep rotation called threading the needle. Reaching long in those fingers. Static hold here. Unthread, left hand back to that foot bar, right hand, reach long, thread underneath. Other direction. Few deep breaths. You're going to feel this stretch in your shoulder blade, in your lat, shoulder. Unwind, come back up. Now we're going to step off to the right side of our reformer. Step that leg forward, that foot onto the floor. Tuck the toes. We're going to get into our Eaves lunge. Send that carriage back, lunge deep into that front knee, that right knee. If it's in your range, you can bring your forearms down or just keep the hands on. But we want to get long in the chest. You're going to feel a deep stretch down that quad and that hip flexor. You can open up that hip a little bit, so slight external rotation. Find that hip opener with that outside leg. So really what feels good here. If you want it deeper, forearms are down, but keep the chest up. So naturally we always want to round forward, but you want to stay active in this stretch. So still proud chest. Deep breaths here. Our hip flexors tend to be extremely tight from the sitting that we do, the exercises that we do. So this is a really good stretch to just lengthen them out a bit, give them a break from that flex position they're always in, opening up that hip along with you. From here, I'm going to lift the toes off the ground. Just my heel stays on, extend that leg. So now I'm getting into that deep hamstring stretch. I have very tight hamstrings, so I should be doing this every day. See if you can press back a little further. Keep those toes lifted. Try to square off those hips. Already my hips want to flare out to compensate. I'm shaking. And bring it back in nice and slow. Good. We're just going to walk it over to the other side. To the left side of our reformer. Step that left foot down now. Tuck those toes. Press that carriage out. Lunge deep into that left knee. Back into that Eaves lunge. Proud chest. Make it deeper. Bring the forearm to foot bar. Deep stretch in that right hip flexor now. Take that left hip, open it up a bit. So kind of just move organically in your stretches. Do what works for you. Everybody's body is different. We're tight in different areas. So do what feels natural and what's giving you that deep active stretch in your body. Some stretches might not feel good for others. This is just a nice foundation to start with. Deep breath. I'm going to square back off. Start to lift those toes off the ground. Heel stays on. Deep hamstring stretch. Whew. One side is always tighter than the other. And slowly bringing it right back in. Okay, I'm going to come seated onto my carriage. We're going to get into a little feet and straps stretches. So throw on a red. I'm on one blue and one red now. Lie down onto your carriage. Reach back for those long straps behind you. Thread them in to the feet. Settle that tailbone down. I'm going to take my right leg and cross it in front of my left for that figure four. Bend that left knee down. You're going to get a deep stretch now in that glute. Right down here. If you have trouble with sciatic pain, hip pain, glute pain, this is an amazing stretch for those discomforts. Feel like you're pushing that hip down for a deeper stretch. Just take some time into it. Push that left foot away so you have some space to bring that right leg out. Reach long again, getting taut on those straps, and then you'll take your left leg now. Cross it over, bend that right knee, push away, and relax into it. Feel that deep stretch now. And your left side. I feel it all the way down that hamstring into my hip. Try to relax the shoulders and use your breath to release any tension you're holding on to. Okay, push away from that right, reach long, toes up towards that ceiling, grab onto your ropes. Little point and flex from the ankles. Hamstring stretch, rolling out those ankles. Feel it in the calves. All the standing we do, walking around, exercising. It's good to stretch things out a bit. Take some time. Roll them out. Supinate, pronate. Okay, I'm gonna bend my knees now, bringing my heels in towards each other. I'm gonna keep my left heel in towards my glute, kick my right leg out nice and long now for that inner thigh stretch. If you've watched my feet and straps video, a few of these exercises are in there also. These deep stretches for the legs. This is our Peter Pan stretch. And bend, pulling that strap back in, kick the other leg out. So I like to hold onto my straps so that I'm in control of that stretch. You don't want to overstretch something. That's how you get an injury or a strain. So make sure you're in control of that stretch. You're not going too far. Just be kind to the body here. Right back in. Now I'm going to find a quad stretch. So this might be a little confusing. I'm going to talk you through it. So my soles of the feet are together. I'm going to take my right hip and start to rotate my knee in towards my midline, all the way to bring my foot down onto the floor. So it's just a rotation of the hip. My foot is down onto the floor. I'm getting this nice deep stretch down my quad and hip flexor now. If you need to see that again, I'll bring it up. Soles of the feet come together. Start to rotate, internal rotation. My knee is being drawn in towards my navel. Rotate that foot down and plant it. And then you can relax here. We'll do the other side. All right, bringing that foot up towards the ceiling. Rotate that hip again. Reversing it, soles of the feet together. And again, that left leg now, rotate, internal rotation from the hip. Bring the knee in towards the belly button. Drop that foot down onto the floor. Deep stretch in that quad and hip flexor. Nice deep breath. And slowly bring that foot up. Rotate that hip. Last but not least, bringing those soles together. We're going to find that hip opener. Drop the feet down into that well. Slight arch in the back is okay here. Deep stretch in the hip flexor. Take a deep breath. Relax those arms. Shine that chest. let it all go. Just really relaxing the body, hang heavy into that carriage. If you want a deeper lower back stretch instead of a hip flexor stretch, just bring the feet up a little higher. You'll start to tuck that pelvis a bit. It's not a deep stretch, but as long as that tailbone is curving, it's still finding a stretch. So instead of shortening, it's now lengthening. And you can just hang out here also. So whatever feels good for your body. One more deep breath. Open those legs to a V. One more inner thigh. Bend halfway in, sway side to side. Happy baby. This is where we finish. Massage that spine. Sway side to side. With control. And then we will take those straps off one at a time. Reach for your foot bar, slowly bring it in. Hang those straps up. Roll up nice and slow, no head rush here. Little roll out from that neck. Roll those shoulders back. Keep them there for the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me in that deep active stretch on the reformer. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon.